Hello, my name is Omboram의 and I'm the 2023 World Barista Champion, and this will be my quick responses to quick 20 questions. My comfort coffee nowadays would be either a nice Brazilian pulp natural or a nice Kenyan wash coffee. Those are coffees that I truly enjoy having as my first cup because they're nice and clean, good acidity, easy to drink all day long. A nice traditional patio style restaurant in Athens, and it was Greek food. Funny enough, we have Joseph Brodsky here from 90 Plus. It would be really nice to work with him. La Jolla from Mexico. Sammy and his wife have been doing some pretty interesting work with genetics and fermentation about coffees, and especially working with Mexican coffees, Peruvian coffee. I think Peruvian coffee has still a huge untapped potential. In Brazil, they have beautiful genetics, really unique terroir, so it would be really nice to work with some of their coffees as well. Competition ideas can come from anything, basically, from day to day, from having a nice experience in a restaurant or in a bar. So for example, some of the ideas that we had in terms of what kind of water we're gonna serve in between courses was basically an idea that came in an Italian restaurant. Italian restaurants normally serve heavy mineralized water because their courses are heavy on sauce, and they also contain a lot of fat. They use butter and animal oil to cook, so it pairs really well with their food. So it made us think about what kind of water will pair better with coffee as well. I think was how to get to Stronghold headquarters. Sleep. I can sleep absolutely anywhere. Sometimes I'll sleep right before the plane takes off, and I'll wake up when the plane lands. I guess it's not that useless though. Since we began competing, we have been roasting on many different machines, and obviously in terms of performance, flavor clarity, I think in almost every single case, Stronghold had the best performing coffees, not only in competition level, but in also in retail and everything else. So it was always the best option for us. I would rather not think about what I would compete again, especially because after the BBC, I feel like I should retire. But if there's one competition that I think I would have a lot of fun in, it's coffee and good spirits. The very first coffee we roasted on Stronghold, and crazy coincidence, we ended up using that coffee for my first WBC. It's Honey Sidra from Colombia, La Palma in Tucumán. Fazenda it's a family-owned coffee farm, a very non-traditional Brazilian coffee farm. It started with my dad. My dad being a Korean immigrant in Brazil, we ended up becoming the first sort of Korean producers of coffee in Brazil. And today we're highly focused on high-end and specialty Brazilian coffees. We have two farms, one in South of Minas and one in Espírito Santo. And our main goal is truly bringing out the best of Brazilian terroir and finding the most amazing genetics that will work for Brazilian coffees. I would say one person that I am very thankful for is Stefanos. When we arrived in Athens, he was very kind enough to open up his cafe and his training center for us to just exchange a little bit of experience, have some ideas. And he sort of gave us some really interesting and funny and amazing tips for our WBC routine. And it was really a lot of fun spending time with him, and it's nice to give him a shout out. I have a ton of competition superstitions. So for example, I know that if I get sick right before the competition, it will be good. So incredibly enough, I always get sick like a week before competition. So it kind of works as a superstition kind of thing. And everyone in our team was highly superstitious. Like Marcia, our Brazilian coach, she has like these energy crystals. Like she believes in like what kind of stones absorbs bad or good energy. So every member in our team would bring sort of like a little crystal stone in their pockets to absorb like bad energy or like jealousy and things like that. Yeah, whenever we're in the new cycle of competition, we always rewatch our previous presentation, especially on stage, because it's a good way to learn. And funny enough, like our cafes, they run a lot of like content and competition videos. So I unwillingly end up having to watch myself a lot. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Our team always made it super fun to train and enjoy the competition journey. And obviously, when you're a competitor, you never want to be overtime in competition level. And one of the things that we did is to make sure I wouldn't keep going overtime. We would do some kind of like, you have to do push-ups for every second overtime. So I remember doing a lot of push-ups when training, because when I go overtime, I had to do it. And then we would do a lot of funny bets as well. So there's a member in the Canadian team who had really long hair, and everyone else in the team hated his hair. So we said, hey, if I win WBC, you're gonna cut your hair. And funny enough, he cut his hair. Very, very immature, I guess. Would be a right word to describe it, yeah. I love sports. I would, like, if I didn't do anything else other than working with my business and family business and competition, I would have focused in sort of a sports career, I think. Good question. I haven't had vacations for the last 4 years, so anywhere would be fine right now. The first coffee I ever drank was a beautiful washed Ethiopian coffee back in 2010 in Boston. It's one of the first experiences I ever had with specialty coffee. I drank a single origin washed Ethiopian heirloom in espresso. And I remember being like the most crazy experience with coffee, because I never thought coffee could taste like that. So it was pretty nice. Of course, there's many things I want to say, but if there's one thing I would say is it's really important for you to find your purpose in the competition stage. You're not only there to win, but you're there to be the next representative of the coffee industry. So you have to understand the level of impact that you can bring into the coffee industry.